Good morning and welcome to the longest day. Yes, that's right, today is summer solstice, which means if you live in Devon, that's sunrise about 5 AM and sunset about 9:30 PM. So in this video, I'm going to shoot one sunrise picture and one sunset picture. That's the plan anyway. It seemed like a really good plan, but I have to admit, when my alarm went off at 3:15 AM this morning, it didn't seem such a wise idea. I'm a landscape photographer. I like getting up in the mornings. I like getting up for sunrise, but even 3:15 AM is a bit of a stretch for me. Never mind. I've got my coffee here, which I'm now going to drink. And as soon as I've had that, I'll tell you more about the location we're going to shoot this morning. Okay, so for those who might recognise this location, I'm actually down at Dawlish Warren beach there. As you can see, I've got some of the groins behind me. Bit of a panic though, when I got out of the car, I went down to the beach and there are diggers everywhere. They're obviously doing some significant maintenance to the beach and shoring up the sea defences. So I've had to walk quite far down the beach to find a spot where there's no diggers. I was really in a panic that I wasn't going to get anything this morning and that my 3:15 AM alarm call was going to be completely wasted. However, I found this spot. The groin defences there behind me, these ones appear to have already been shored up. They look quite new. But that shouldn't impact what I was planning on doing this morning, which is to take a exposure of the groin running out into the sea. I've got the sun rising over that direction there in about 20-25 minutes. Hopefully that's going to put some nice light along the side of that groin there. Probably do a bit of a long exposure, smooth out the sea. Might get some nice morning light. There's a nice amount of cloud in the sky, so hopefully as the sun comes up, that'll get illuminated quite nicely. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the camera out the bag, get myself all set up, and I'll talk about my composition in a bit more detail. Okay, so I've got the camera all set up and ready to go, and I've taken a few test shots. So what have I done? Okay, so I've got the groin leading out into the sea, which hopefully when that sun pops up over the horizon, I'll get a nice golden light across that and that will really lift the image. In terms of camera settings, I've got the leaf filters polarizer on just to take some of the sheen off the top of the water there. That has resulted in an exposure time of around 6 seconds, but that'll probably get shorter as the sun gets higher. I might even slot in an ND filter. I'm on ISO 100 f13. I'm focused just on one of the panels there of the groin. I've got my 16-35 f4 on and it's at about 28 millimeters. So I've got everything set up, image is sharp, it's exposed well, I'm ready to go, just waiting for the light, and which hopefully we will get. Well, hopefully I managed to get a nice image from this morning's shoot. I didn't quite get the light I was hoping for from the rising sun. It didn't quite reflect off the panels of the groin in the way I was hoping for. But to be honest, when I got here this morning, I saw the diggers and the beach had been dug up. I'm just actually glad I got an image at all. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to go home, try and get some rest. It's been an early start. And then I'm going to prepare for this evening. I don't know exactly where I'm going to go, but I'm going to go home and check the weather forecast, recharge all my batteries, and start making plans. So, sunset's about 9:30 tonight. I'll see you around then. Good evening and welcome to part 2 of my summer solstice landscape photography video. I hope you enjoyed part 1 and I'm sure you're going to enjoy part 2. So, for this evening's sunset shoot, I've come to Dartmoor. Now I've come here for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's close by. I don't have to drive very far because it's already been quite a long day already. So I don't want to have too much travel at the end of the day. And 2, well, coming to Dartmoor as a landscape photographer is always a good thing to do. It's such a fantastic place to shoot. There's many locations that we could go to. But I've picked one tonight. I'll take you down there. I'll show you around. I'll give you an idea of what compositions I'm thinking of and how I'm going to set my camera up. So it's just down there. We'll take a short walk and I'll talk to you in a second. Okay, so I've arrived at Emsworthy Tor, which is a tor there just behind me, and of course I've got this tree there as well that I'm going to add into the composition. So these are the two main elements. Now I can work this two different ways. I can shoot it from this side, where I'll get some nice side lighting from the setting sun, which is just over there, so nice side lighting on the tor and obviously on the side of the tree there. Sometimes the undulations on the ground as well come out quite nicely when you've got that lower sun. The alternative is I can go to the other side of where I'm standing and I can shoot with the sun behind me, and they will illuminate the tree and the tor a bit more directly. So either option can work. I'm just going to have to figure it out as I go along. So first thing I'm going to do is get the camera set up, take some test shots, see what compositions are working, and I'll come back to you and we'll talk about how we've got things set up. Okay, so I've settled on my composition. I've come to the other side of the tor from where I was originally. And the reason I'm doing that, I want to make the most of the setting sun. It's going to be quite diffused with the cloud that's over there. So I want to make the most of what light there will be. So I've got the camera set up, fairly standard, ISO 100. It's about 1/3 of a second exposure time at the moment at f13. I've got my polarizer on just to kind of bring out some of the texture in the sky. I know all I really need to do is wait for the sun to set. It's due in about 20 minutes, but it's going to pop down the hill, so it might be a bit less than that. So really, anything to do is just keep firing off the shutter and just wait. Hopefully we'll just get a magical couple of minutes where the light will be amazing. Okay, I've got the image that I came for. I made the most of the light that I had. As I suspected, as the sun set, it got diffused quite heavily in the low level cloud. But there were some hints of colour on the rocks and on the tree there, so hopefully when I get home and have a look at those images on the screen, I'll be able to see those in a bit more detail. Now, it's been a pretty fun but long day, but I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. Now, if you have, please do hit that like button and leave me a comment. Also, in the video description below, there'll be a link to the blog article that goes with this video, where you can see the images that I took in a bit more detail. So head over there and check that out, please. If you did like this video and you want to see more, do click on the subscribe button just below. And there's also a little bell icon when you subscribe as well. If you click on that, you'll get automatic notifications when I post up new video content. Now, there's only one thing left to do, and that's to sit back and enjoy that sunset. Sometimes you just have to put the camera away and enjoy what nature has to offer. Until the next video, I'll see you then.